What was that girl's name from the new Mario Party? Pauline. Okay. Gotta get back into the swing of things. Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. Thanks so much for joining us. My name is Shauna, and this is Shauna's Book Journal. And I have been calling it my BookTube page. It's now kind of turning into like not really an author tube yet. I'm not an author just yet, but I'm still a book reader, but I like to go over editing things because I'm a freelance editor. So it's become an eclectic, unique channel of all of the bookish things. So I hope you stick around. In this video today, I am going to be talking about my goals for 2025, and they include reading, writing, and editing goals. So just like I said, it's an inclusion of all of the things bookish. I also wanted to go over the goals that I set for myself last year and just kind of reflect on what happened last year and where I ended up with those goals, because I make these goal videos every year and then I never really respond to them. So I wanted to respond to it this year. But before we jump into the video fully, if you don't care about announcements or my personal life, you can just skip ahead. I wanted to make a little announcement on this channel. The reason why I took such a hiatus and I haven't posted anything since basically October, I think it was October, maybe September, is that Tony and I, my husband, are expecting a little baby. Yay. We'll put sonogram pictures if you're interested at all. But we are very, very excited. At the time of filming this video, I'm about 19 weeks. So I got a little, not too much, but a little bump. Morning sickness threw me for a loop. So that is why it took me a very long time to get back into the swing of this. I'm finally feeling human again, and finally feeling more like myself and a little bit more energy, even though I get out of breath. So if I'm out of breath during this video, I apologize. I may have to start doing these videos sit down. But announcements aside, we'll just jump right on into the video. Okay, so the first goal that I set for myself in 2024 was to read 60 books. I realized doing my research, like looking on my blog and my YouTube channel, I said 60 books, but for some reason on Goodreads, I put 70. Why? I don't know. I guess I wanted to challenge myself and I didn't remember. Anyways, in total though, I only ended up reading about 56. Again, towards the end of the year last year, morning sickness threw me out of the game. I stopped reading. I did not read anything in November or December, like at all. Like I only just started reading again in January. So that's why I kind of slacked on that, but it's okay. We're all good. I'm moving on from it. Wasn't in the right headspace to read and just couldn't, so I didn't force it. Okay, the next goal that I said I would do in 2024 is to start a in-person book club here in Orlando. Did not accomplish that either, but technically my best friend Jordan moved down to Orlando to be with us and just to be closer to friends and stuff and work on Tony's business, which is Rebuilt Minds, and we've got some exciting things for that. And I will link all of his stuff down below so you guys can check him out. They got some exciting stuff in the works. So she moved down to help with that as well. And she's like my one person book club, like we're two people. So I count that. It's kind of a success. It's like half a success. Like we started our own book club and we read together and talk about the books that we read. So I call that a success. Okay, the next goal that I set was to acquire a trailer to convert into a mobile bookstore. This did not happen either, unfortunately. A lot of financial things got in the way. It's okay. Eventually it will happen. We will make it happen. It is going to happen at some point. I know it. All right, and the next goal I set for myself was to write a full-length book. That also did not happen. A lot of things went awry in 2024. Let's just say that. Let's just say that. Good things, but also not so great things. So 2024 kind of kicked all of us in the butt. But no, I did not write the full book, even just like the first draft. However, I did get pretty far in plotting the whole thing. I just have a few more kinks to work out, and I did start writing it. So I'm a few chapters in, so I still call that a success. I'm still very proud of myself of getting that far. So, especially with everything going on. Okay, another goal I set was to go on a writing retreat, even if that was just with friends, you know, like a staycation sort of thing, where we just get together and write. This did not happen either. Again, things got in the way. However, Jordan and I both did enter a writing competition this year, and it was so much fun. So we only had a week to write a short story. It needed to be under a certain amount of words. I don't remember now what it was, because this was back in the summer. And they released the theme of the competition, but they then, on the first day, they announced what specifically it needed to be about and what like little things you needed to incorporate, such as somebody needs to have a scar somewhere that is relevant to the story. So things like that. And there needed to be one of the characters needed to say a line, "Who's that guy?" or something equivalent to that, like "Who's that girl?" or who are they? So little things that you needed to incorporate into the story, and you didn't know until the day of the writing competition start date. You only had a week then to write it and submit it into the competition. So it was a lot of fun. We didn't place, and that's okay, but it was a lot of fun, and it was a huge challenge to just get that story written and then to edit it down to be within the word count. It was really hard, but it was a lot of fun, and we will continue to do that through this year too. Okay, and the last goal that I set for myself in 2024 was to start narrating audiobooks. This did not happen either. I just feel like I go down the list and it's like, nope, didn't do any of it, but it's okay. This is something I do kind of want to still dip my toes into in this year. And I would like to just kind of see what that world is about. And, I have my background in theater. My husband also has his background in theater and acting and film and all the things. And he's done voiceovers and all of that. And we have friends who are dialect coaches. So I really want to like work with them and figure out how to change the voices and stuff. I know that I have a good voice to narrate audiobooks. It's just a matter of coming up with the characterizations of each of the different characters. That's the hardest part. So maybe something I will dip my toes into in 2025. We'll see. All right, so jumping into the goals that I'm setting for myself in 2025. It is a new year. It is going to be a great year all around. It's going to be awesome. I'm putting the vibes out there for us, for you, for everybody watching. Like, I hope that 2025 treats you better than 2024. Even if you had a good 2024, I hope 2025 is even better. So the first goals I'm going to talk about are my reading goals. I did set a reading goal for this year on the Goodreads challenge. I always like to set it. If I don't reach it, which I haven't reached it in like 3 or 4 years, it's okay. But I do like to set it just to have that for myself. But I set my goal to be 50 books this year. So I did come down on it. Obviously not a whole lot, but I did come down. There's obviously a lot of things that are going to be happening this year that might get in the way of that reading. But audiobooks are my friend, and they will continue to be my friend this year. So that's what I'm going to lean on. The other reading goal that I'm setting for myself is a little bit vague in a way. Like, there's no specific. When I set goals, because I'm a Virgo brain, I like to obviously set very like metric, specific, time deadlined goals for myself or for just things in general, as it helps me really figure out if I actually reach those things. It's either like, yes, you did, or no, you didn't. But this one I am leaving a little bit vague to allow for more wiggle room, and that is to just enjoy reading again. I feel like I go through, and we all go through these phases, and it's fine, of feeling like you have to read to still be a part of the community, whether that be on YouTube, on Instagram, wherever, like in your own community, in person, your bookstores, your friends, it doesn't matter. When you see other people online or in person reading a ton and enjoying it, you feel like you have to force yourself to do it because you know that you love it. But I have realized, especially towards the end of last year, that when I went into that slump of I just wasn't feeling good physically and everything was just so out of whack and I didn't have time, that I felt like every time I picked up a book, I resented it. And I felt like I was forcing it. And I want to go into this year with the mindset of, yes, I'm setting a goal to read a specific amount of books, but I just like to do that as like an achievement. You feel like you achieved it. And if you didn't, I am okay with that. It doesn't work for some people, that's fine. But I feel that I just want to enjoy it more, remind myself why I love to read, and only pick up a book when I feel good enough to pick up a book. So that is that goal, and those are my reading goals for the year. Okay, so my writing goals. Literally on my notes, I put in all caps, write the damn book. That is something I am gonna push myself to do, because this story has been in my head for years now, and I have discussed it from beginning to end and back 5 different ways with Tony, with Jordan, and trying to figure out all of the kinks and work through it. This is the year I need to write the damn book. And even if it's just the first draft, I don't care if it's a fully polished, ready to go, published work by the end of 2025. I want to have a full copy of paper, words on paper, so that way we could start editing. Editing comes easier to me. I feel like it's just getting it on paper is the hardest part. And I feel like a lot of authors might agree with me. Some may not. You may have other processes. But for me, that's what I struggle with most. So that is the goal. That is one writing goal I have. Write the damn book. Okay, and then the next writing goal that I have is just to write more in general. So again, I'm leaving this one kind of vague. There's no specific, like, you need to write this amount of stuff, or you need to write more short stories, or enter 2 competitions. No, just write more in general. I don't care if it's journaling, if it's just jotting down bullet points for stuff. I just want to write to get that creativity to flow. When we did that writing competition last year, I felt so good because things did just flow. So I want to continue that, and as long as I'm writing something, I feel like it'll continue to just move. Okay, so moving into my editing goals for this year, as most of you know, if you don't, I am a freelance editor, so I help authors with the developmental edits of their stories. I also do a little bit of proofreading, but mostly I help on the developmental editing side, so helping with story arc, characterizations, structure of your novel, pacing, plot, like all of those things I kind of help develop with the authors. So I did set one pretty specific goal, and then one that is a little bit more vague. Again, we're keeping it loose this year. We're gonna go with the flow. So my very specific goal is to help at least 10 authors with full developmental edits for their books. I feel like I did reach a lot of authors last year, but it was more so with the manuscript valuations of a couple of different, like first 10 pages or chunks here and there. But overall, with a developmentally sound novel, I want to help at least 10 authors by the end of this year. And I think it's manageable. And if you are an author watching this, or a writer watching this video, feel free to hit me up. My website and everything on how to reach me is down below in the description. So I would love to help you develop your novel. The next goal that I have for editing is to help coach a little bit more. So I love the coaching process, and I love book coaches. I think that they're really cool. If you're not very familiar with them, they really help. They do a lot of things, but they really help authors from the beginning of their book, like even just from an idea that an author may have, to the very end of getting it published, whether that be self-publishing or going the traditionally published route. And even traditionally published authors, some still have book coaches even after they've been traditionally published, because they still need that boost and they still need that help creatively, personally, just like generally all around. So if you've heard of like business coaches and stuff, or life coaches, it's along the same vein. But book coaches also help with they can also be editors. They help develop the stories with you. They bounce ideas off of you. They do brainstorming sessions. They hold you accountable for your writing. They're checking your writing every week or every month or however often they have it set up. And I just think it's a really cool process, and I would love to help more authors. I want to see that from beginning to end. So I would really love to help authors in that sense too, of more coaching, just more coaching services in general. So if you're interested at all, let me know, and let's see if we can figure something out together, because I would love to help you from beginning to end with your novel. All right, so those are all of my goals that I have set for myself for 2025. I also reviewed all of my goals from 2024, and a lot of them were a miss, but it's okay. We're doing good, we're moving on in 2025, and it's gonna be a great year for all of us. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button so you're subscribed to my channel. Hit the bell icon if you wanna be notified anytime I post a new video. Comment down below what your goals are, or if you reached your goals for 2024, I would love to hear from you. If you are an author in need of editing services, feel free to reach out to me by my email below or through my website. All of that information is in the description. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It does help out my channel. But other than that, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye. Dog or kitty content, and he's got his Christmas sweater. Yeah, him's a good boy.